North Texas man received 10 years in federal prison for running a health care scam. Prosecutors say he used the millions he made in stolen cash to fund a lavish lifestyle and a Hollywood career. Fox 4's David Centendry is in Dallas tonight with more on this story. David.
Yeah, that pharmacy owner was trying to make it in Hollywood, but instead now he's headed to federal prison. A Dallas pharmacy owner, 37-year-old Ivor Jola, shown here on his public Instagram page, was trying to make it as a Hollywood director and screenplay writer, listed on IMDb as a screenwriter for the 2019 movie Grand Isle, starring Nicolas Cage. Now, Jola is sentenced to 10 years in federal prison for scheming insurance companies out of tens of millions of dollars.
So he was making all the millions, you know.
The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Texas says Jola and co-conspirator Shannon Turley submitted at least $46 million in bogus claims to insurance companies, $41 million of that which was reimbursed. Jola used that money to buy land, luxury vehicles, and more.
But cars were very noticeable, one after another.
Jola's former neighbor says high-end vehicles were consistently rolling in and out of his far north Dallas home, raising suspicion.
He was probably doing something bad, you know, who knows? Outlandish, I can say that, way outlandish.
According to plea papers, Jola and his co-conspirator operated at least 9 Texas pharmacies and would pay marketers for insured patients' personal info. Some patients were unaware. Others were aware and required a fee for their information. The duo also paid doctors to fraudulently stamp prescription forms. 10 additional defendants have pled guilty to their roles in the scheme.
They don't intend to go into the business originally to commit fraud. There's something that happens along the way where they take that turn, which I would say that evil turn.
Former U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas, Richard Roper, says these insurance scams are becoming more common, and the dollar amount of this one is substantial.
You know, $41 million is a lot of money.
Shannon Turley, that co-conspirator, is scheduled to be sentenced here at the federal courthouse next month.
It is stories like these, which is why I say out of all the 7 deadly sins, greed is probably one of the worst ones, because it links to the other 6 like simultaneously and almost seamlessly at the same time, although there was no loss of life, thank God, when it comes to this. But man, oh my goodness, this man right here is practically the definition of dumb. So this guy was a pharmacy owner and he decided that he was going to use that and turn it into a scam. Scammed $41 million out of people to fund his lavish lifestyle so he could make it in Hollywood. Now, in the actual audio clip that you heard, he did actually have a credit on IMDb to a movie that Nicolas Cage did do. I actually saw the screenshot of it, and it is legit. He actually did work with Nicolas Cage on a movie. And it's like, how did you go from that to doing this? And this is exactly why I say when people do these kind of scams and they do these schemes, it's never enough. This man scammed got $41 million out of this. $41 million. That, like the person in the news clip said, that is a lot of money, especially to people that don't have that. And then he was using it to fund his lifestyle. So the thing is, in order to keep his lifestyle afloat and to keep it funded, he had to continue going with the scheme. That's one thing that people who commit these frauds and these schemes and these scams do that makes them so dumb, is that they go way, way, way above and beyond their limits to the point where they can't stop. See, if they were smart, then they would only do enough to get by. That way they can stop themselves and have a cushion. See, if this dude actually lived below his means, then he wouldn't have to continue to do this, and it probably wouldn't be that much of a paper trail to the point where they may not have even caught him. But because he kept going and going and going, and he wanted more and more and more, and because enough wasn't enough for him, that's why he ended up getting caught up. His neighbor said he would constantly see him driving in and out of the neighborhood with various different luxury cars. You know, who knows what the inside of his house looked like. And he was doing all of this and now he's going to federal prison for the next decade. I see that again, the definition of dumb. If I was still doing my DMU videos, he for sure would be in that category. This is why I couldn't bring myself to even commit or even think about committing an act like this, because again, when you don't have much, greed is going to get the best of you, and that's exactly what happened with this dude. Greed got the best of him. He's only 37 years of age, and he's about to spend the next 10 years behind a wall until he's 47. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, he's going to federal prison, so that's probably going to be a cakewalk for him. Not exactly. Yes, it's different than probably going to a state prison or, something like that. However, remember, he was used to living a certain lifestyle. This guy practically became a millionaire by frauding people. He doesn't have access to those cars anymore. He doesn't have access to that home or the lifestyle that he once had. For the next 10 years, he belongs to the feds in the state of Texas. That's where he belongs. And then when he gets out, he's going to have nothing. He will have nothing. He's not going to go back to that home. He's not going to go back to those cars. And he's not going to, damn sure not going to go back to those millions of dollars that he stole. Let's be real here. That he stole from people. That's gone. And because of what he did, and even though he'll be like 47 because he's 37 now, good luck trying to find employment. Because your information and all of your info and what you did is plastered all over the news. Like, no one's going to want to work with this dude. He should have just stuck with what he had. It seemed like he was about to have a good thing going, but that wasn't enough. And that's the thing about greedy people. Again, like I said before, it's never enough for them. They have to keep going for more because they feel like if I stop now, then that's it. Live like there's no tomorrow. So let me keep going to see how much more I can attain. And then I'll stop when I stop. But the thing about greed is when you get to a point like where he's at, $41 million is gone even beyond greed. Now you're at an addiction. Now you're addicted to stealing money from people because you've seen what it can do for you. And now all of it's gone in one fell swoop, because I'm sure they had him under investigation for months. He just didn't know it. And that's the whole point of an investigation. You're not supposed to know. But he got caught, and I'm sure that there were other people working with him, but he was the main culprit. And something tells me if he hasn't already, he's going to be singing like a canary real soon.